Hey ladies, Dr. Bill Sinyard here. Welcome to God's Love for the Unlovable. This is our last show in the Song of Songs series. You can always go back and listen to it from the very beginning. I recommend that to you. I hope this has helped you in your search for significance and security and belonging in Christ. And let me know, Bill at gospel-app.com. Today, I'm just going to read the last three movements from my novella. So just sit back, relax, take your shoes off, listen, enjoy. Next time, we're either in Galatians 5, the works of the flesh, the fruit of the Spirit, or we're in the book of Job, or we'll be looking at unknown, overlooked, unappreciated women in the Old Testament. Not sure. Anyway, help us get the word out about this program, these shows. Would love to have 1,000 followers, and you can help. There's nothing like it out there. Hopefully you've been helped, your view of the gospel, feeling the love of God for you. Check out the other resources on our website, gospel-app.com. If you'd like to make a donation, I'd like to thank you ahead of time. Go to the website and you can do that at the bottom of any page. Thank you. And send a testimony. Thank you for those who have sent testimonies already. It is so gratifying, praise God, that the gospel is doing what it's supposed to do, proclaiming His love for the unlovable. I'm going to put the best on my website and maybe even put some in my upcoming book on the Song of Songs. Check out the other resources on gospel-app.com. If you'd like to make that donation, like I said, the bottom of any page. Thanks ahead of time. Welcome to the novella of the Song of Songs. Welcome to God's love for the unlovable. Movement 6, chapter 6, 4 to 7:10, the King's Testimony. His manly voice focused her attention once again on the present. This time, miraculously, no resentment poured from her heart. This time she was the queen, not a street lady. The king looked deep, ever so deep into her soul, and uttered these words: "You are overwhelmingly beautiful, my darling. You are more fantastic than the royal city of Tirzah. No, you're lovelier than even Jerusalem." Those great sights would take the breath away from any sensible spectator, yet they pale in glory to you. Turn your eye from me, they overwhelm me. Your smile is perfect, your lips thin and provocative, your makeup accentuates your glorious natural beauty. Your sensuous, dark, wavy hair is as full and silky as the finest of cashmere anywhere. There are many other queens in the land, but compared to you, they are nothing. There are even more concubines, and they pale in your light. There are virgins everywhere, but none more wonderful to me than you. You are my dove, my perfect one. You're one in a billion. There is no one like you. You are the special one of your family, the favorite. Why, even the other women can see that. They call you the most blessed one, the lucky one. The virgins, the concubines, and queens all bow to you and praise your glory." Well, the countenance of the queen was transformed. This was such a far cry from that pathetic, self-involved waif on the city streets. If there were witnesses, they would see the resemblance between her and the glorious wedding carriage that a short time ago rose from the wilderness in glory. Her countenance shone like the dawn. She was glorious. The combined effulgence of the moon and the heavenlies together were as a mere burning ember in comparison to her resplendence. She was indeed the great queen. In contrast with the last betrayal of heart, this time she chose to act like a true queen, to enter the king's garden vulnerably and intimately as only a pure lover could do. To all who had known her for some time, there was clear external evidence of a deep change. Now, coexisting with the myriad, complex and destructive dysfunctions and insecurities was a genuine, deep-set desire to be one with the king. No matter how exposed it made her, how naked and vulnerable, no matter the risk. Let the people see them as a regal, single image, the king and his glorious chariot in the middle of all his people, appropriately together, inseparable, glorious. This time, I will not run to the city. It is nothing for me. I do not belong there anymore. I am the queen of the garden. I choose to go to the garden. I will be one with the king. Let all the people see. All of the stars in the skies and all the heavenlies erupted into a victory song as if the sky was filled with choirs of cantors. Oh, yes, dance, O queen. Dance, O incarnation of shalom. Dance, yes, dance. In her mind, this dance was for the king, and it didn't matter who else watched. For just a split moment, she flashed back to a time when she did not have such freedom. Then she was ruled by her oppressive insecurities and inhibitions, too intimidated to dance in such a freely personal and provocative manner, too worried what the others would think of her, that the others might laugh or mock her for acting like a provocateur or worse, a cheap prostitute teasing vulgar Johns into a torrid liaison. The king's eyes upon her did not at all make her feel cheap or tawdry. He intently gazed upon her naked body and formed in his mind a wasp, a highly structured poem of romantic adoration, suitable for a great queen, his queen. She shuddered in the wake of this magnificent poetic foreplay. I will tell you why all of creation is distracted by you, by your dance. It's obvious. Look, even your feet proclaim you to be royalty. They're so beautiful. Your graceful legs are perfect, as if wonderfully chiseled by an expert jeweler. You are a priceless jewel. In you are seeds of myriad blessings. You are the mother of many people. Your womb is like the king's wine cup, always filled with heady wine. Drinking from you makes my head spin. You are anything but an immature child. Your womanhood is in glorious full bloom like this garden around us. As you lie there, I imagine a mound of wheat surrounded by fragrant flowers. Your breasts are perfect twins like gazelles. Your neck is the neck of a great queen. Its tall, sensual ivory tower. Your eyes are stunning, reflecting light like the pools of Heshbon, refreshing, soothing. The bold features of your face only enhance your stature and beauty. Your countenance reminds me of the magnificent eastern fortresses of Lebanon. Your head perfectly crowns your body as Mount Carmel crowns all of Israel. Your hair is like royal tapestry. The king is held captive by its tresses. How beautiful you are, oh love! Do you have any idea how your many delights please me? You're a palm tree of great rarity. Your fig clusters are in full bloom. I desire to come upon you like an orchard manager climbing upon his favorite ripe palm tree. With all of my being, I want to embrace the abundant fruit that you offer, the one who climbs. Let your breast always be full of milk. May you be like an abundant vine that never ceases to bear fruit. Let your kisses always taste like they do right now. I would prefer your kiss to the finest wine in the land. Yes, my lover and king, let my wine wash over your mouth. Drink freely of my vineyard. I am yours, heart, mind, and soul and body, and I can see and am still amazed that you really desire me as I am, all of me. Is this the same little girl, the tragic, dehumanized child who was plucked out of the dirt by the great king? Is this the source of the scandal that rocked the court at the beginning? Is this the hesitant, insecure, self-deprecating child who lay in his arms at the beginning? Is this the broken-hearted one who kept betraying the king's love for the arms of the city? Something has happened to her. Look at her. At least now, for this moment, she is not just any maiden. Look, she is the queen. Look how her shoulders have filled the queen's robe. See how the crown rightly adorns her head. Surely she is a queen, a great queen. The garden is her domain. Like a precious jewel, she rightly reflects the glory of the king. Movement number 7. Chapter 7, verse 11 to 8:4. Come, my beloved. There are times in our lives when maturity is noticeable. We do things or say things that are surprising even to us. This was one of those times for the queen. From her background of dishonor and abuse, she learned to not take risk. The cost of rejection is too high. The victimized heart needs boundaries so clear, so repeatable that all risk is too much. intimacy is risk. For in intimacy, there can be no boundaries, no walls, no fig leaves to protect from failure, criticism, and shame. Possibly the only thing more risky than intimacy would be the pursuit of intimacy with another person. There are too many contingencies, too many variables, too many places to slip and fall, too many places to look foolish and be exposed, and the queen well knew failure. As always, there is the possibility of the other rejecting the invitation. Oh, too awkward at best. The risk was even more exacerbated by the cultural norms of the royal household. It was the common etiquette universally for the king alone to initiate intimacy. I mean, normally the great king would hold out a scepter and give a formal invitation for his queen to come. This invitation was different than the normal use of the word. It normally carries the nuance of volition. However, in this context, it means a royal order. The queen would never turn down the king. That would be risking the loss of her throne. Queens wait for such a call. No queen would ever initiate such a liaison. I mean, theoretically, if the queen was truly a great queen, recognized in social standing and substance as a peer of the king, maybe then it would be allowable. This former waif would never have made such a move. She would have much preferred isolation to rejection. Isolation had served her faithfully. Loneliness and self-loathing are painful but expected. Rejection, never again. Yet the queen, after having drunk deeply 5 times from the king's draught, was changed. This was the necessary fruit of his love. She was burning with 2 new flames. The first fire was a burning desire for the kisses of the great lover king. She had come to see and enjoy her covenantal right as the king to be in the arms of her lover. She had also come to believe that the feelings were mutual. Secondly, she was coming to see what the king saw. She was not only a queen, oh no, she was a great queen. Nowhere was it more evident than in the new desire that powerfully beat in her heart. She couldn't shake it, this burgeoning motivation. She not only wanted to be in the intimate, risky embrace of the great lover king, but now she was powerfully motivated to initiate it. She was at the same time frightened and excited about these new feelings. Come, my lover, let's go to the royal garden where we can be alone and intimate. Let's go to our special garden to enjoy the new life there, to smell the wonderful fragrances, to experience the blooming of our intimate union. The air is filled with aromas. All delicacies are right at our disposal. New and adventurous taste along with the old standards, all of which I've kept uniquely for you, my lover. Oh, why do I have to wait to get to the garden? If we were siblings, I could freely kiss you in public and no one would care. Here in the royal court, people are so stuffy and formal. Oh, how I want to be intimate with you now, for you to drink freely of my wine, spiced wine, heady stuff that will make your head spin, for you to eat freely of my fruit until you're satiated. Well, the king laughed at her boldness. This brought him great honor. This was an act of wonderful honor and worship to him. Now he, the great king, was fully enjoying the love of a great queen, suitable for a great king. They fled to the royal gardens where they could be alone and intimate. Lying there once again, she relished the moment. She had learned that shalom was found only in his arms. It has happened again, she thought. I have succumbed to my lover's embrace. I am swept away into his heart. We're united in a lover's embrace. We're one. I am the queen indeed. I can see that I am the beloved. Amazing love, how can it be? Daughters, this love is a dangerous, devouring animal, not to be taken lightly. Settle for no counterfeit, no substitute to this love. Don't mess with it until it so desires. Epilogue, Chapter 8, 5 to 14. Eyes of Shalom. It was so noticeable, it wasn't that long ago, that a frightened little girl was swept up, kicking and screaming, into the arms of the great lover king. The kingdom was shocked and scandalized. The king could have had anyone, and he chose her. She remembered how out of place she looked and felt, and she was right. She really wasn't court material. She didn't belong there in its hallowed hall. everyone but the king could see it. She had enjoyed no etiquette training, no schooling. What she had learned about love was on the flat table of a vineyard hut. She was a foolish child, immature, frightened, and abused. She was the least of all, and yet was swept into the pure and righteous arms of the great king. But now she really was the mighty queen. All could see that she alone was the uniquely appropriate partner of the great lover king himself. All would now agree that it would be hard to imagine another who reflected his glory so. Now, all around her, the people spoke of her in royal, almost apocalyptic terms. She was reminded of the crowd's description of the royal wedding palanquin. That was the image of the prophetic greatness of the king. Now she was his image. Who is this coming up from the wilderness, enjoined with the king, her lover? She had accepted the highest duty and privilege of being the queen. She was a pure reflection of his glory. She was his glory. For the great queen, it was not enough to be alongside him in his glory. Oh, my lover, it's my heart's desire to please you, to stimulate you at the deepest emotional and physical level. I want to turn you on. Attach me to you privately and publicly. Your love is like nothing else. Before coming to know you, I thought that death was the most powerful thing that I knew, but your love, it's at least as strong as death. Its unending pursuit of its object it's like the unyielding grave. Nobody can escape it. It's an all-consuming fire, the very fire of the heavens. Your love is so powerful that even the waters of chaos that were there in the beginning, the formlessness and void, couldn't stand against it. Your love has defeated the confusing chaos that reigned in my soul. You spoke, let there be, and now there is order and life and abundance, and it is truly good. How else can I describe the height and depth of your love? Your love is more powerful than even the great flood. Its flame is unquenchable. It's priceless. Take all of the wealth of all of the land, and still you couldn't buy an ounce of this love. And the queen smiled as she remembered the derogatory way that her brothers spoke about her. And maybe they were right, at least then. Today, the scars were powerfully healed over. Only memories remain. Our little sister, she's just a squirt kid. You can see how immature she is, can't you? We really have to watch her, and frankly, we don't trust her. Our job as the watchman on the wall is to make sure that she doesn't do something stupid sexually. If she remains a virgin, well, we'll reward her on her wedding day. And if she's foolish in that area, we'll have to lock her in a room and throw away the key. But they were dead wrong about her, she thought. She had bought into that identity, hook, line, and sinker, but now she was transformed. I am a woman of great worth and sexual value. I am a virgin again. I'm not a child. Look at me. I'm a queen in full bloom. And all of this happened when I finally really looked into the eyes of my lover king and saw my real reflection, how he sees me. I became Shalom. And now I at last really see I'm not only a queen, I am the Queen of Queens, the great queen, the only suitable partner for the great king. And like him who manages great vineyards, each bringing great returns, I too manage a great and luxurious vineyard, my body. My glory is under my oversight and care. I am for the first time in my life a free woman. No one can take my glory from me anymore, not my brothers, not the daughters of Jerusalem, not even the sun. My great King of Shalom, I give it to you, and I will reward those who help me get ready for you. To be sure, it had been a difficult journey from the revelation of the king's love for her many struggles and doubts, her self-destructive tendencies, her stumbling. However, the sevenfold pursuit of the great king overcame all of her dysfunctions. Amazing, powerful, and transforming love that could incarnate and resurrect such glory in such a discarded husk. This is the greatest of all Pygmalion stories. What could accomplish such a transformation? It is solely the powerful love of the great lover king, specifically for his only bride. It's unequaled and unparalleled. It should never be rejected or trivialized. There is no force like it in the universe. What else can heal such betrayal, disgrace, and ignominy? Only this love. The queen has come to see that this love is for her alone. Oh, my great lover king, attended by so many, let me hear your voice. Speak to me. You know exactly what I desire to hear. And my answer is yes, always yes. Come away with me so that we can be in the garden alone. My lover, take me freely to your heart's content. Taste and inhale all of me. The garden reprise. The King's Garden in Jerusalem today is sadly fallow, overgrown, its boundary usurped by the secular city. It's no longer a place of respite, no longer a place for the lover king and his queen to be alone and intimate. It's a very sad thing to see and to wonder about its past glory. It's doubly sad because at this time in the history of mankind, there is so much need for the King's Garden. There's never been a greater need among the human city for such a place of Edenic honor, vulnerability, and intimacy. There are so many before-picture queens of the city of man who are tragically used to being treated with abuse. They run to the streets of the city looking for love and identity in all the wrong places. What else are they to do? Like the queen in our story, they are at best treated indifferently by the watchmen of the walls, often worse. Love on the street is so cheap and temporary. Lovers rarely pursue other lovers, much less betrayers. It's too costly, and hearts are too cynical, or they remain trapped in the dehumanizing vineyards, finding casual love on the floor of temporary huts. It's time again for the revelation of the King to break into the den of our souls. It's time for the winter rains to end, for the land to break out with flowers and fruit and life. This is no safe place. These walls are not our friends. It's time for the royal procession to arise from the wilderness, bringing wonder and rejoicing again into the hearts of the land. It's time for the great lover king to take us to his chambers. Kiss me with the kisses of your mouth. The end. Well, here is the simple, uncluttered gospel one more time. Jesus follower, daughter of the Most High, strictly because of what Jesus did for you 2,000 years ago, God actually loves you. He loves you with all of his heart, as much as the Father loves the Son and the Spirit, and the Son and the Spirit loves the Father. He can't love you any more or any less than he does right now. He can't love you more if you were smarter, funnier, had a better career, were more educated, had more authority, were a better boss, employee, employer, friend, lover, mother, daughter, married, divorced, widowed, single, more attractive, weighed more or less, had better hair. He loves you the same, no matter what you've done or what's been done to you. Oh my gosh, that's so powerful for so many people, including me. You can't add to this love or take away from it. So stop trying. This is the love that your brain has subconsciously been jonesing for so long. Now, I get it. It often feels like you've messed it up or need to do something more so that God would like you better. Not so. It's brain science. Nothing has hurt you more than relationships that have gone badly. God designed your brain to protect you from getting hurt again, but that's also causing you to subconsciously resist loving and being loved, right? It's making sense. Your only fix is to access the God-sourced power through the Spirit in your inner being so that you can begin to experience the height and width and length and depth of the love of Christ for you and for others. How do you start to experience his incongruous love for you more now? Simple. Good news. There's something you can do and are invited to do. You can take daily baby steps to ask the Spirit inside of you to make you know, experience, and feel just how much God loves you right now. Just ask. Ask again later today. Ask tomorrow. Make it a spiritual habit. Then dance. Daughters of the Most High, dance. Well, this is the last show in the Song of Songs series. Of course, I'm writing the book and I'm using all of this and some of your thoughts and comments are helping, so thanks for dialoguing. And by the way, thanks for testimonies. Praise God. It's so great to see that the power of the gospel does actually change people. I can't always see it since I'm doing this in film and audio,
But thanks to all of you who've sent a testimony. I'm going to post some of them on the website, maybe in some of the books I'm writing. It's how have you experienced God's amazing love for the unlovable, the unloved, and the unlovely. Bill at gospel-app.com. Keep them coming. Keep sending them. They're invitation to others. Think of it that way. They're evangelistic to others. Bill at gospel-app.com. And like I said, I may be adding some of them to my upcoming book on the song. So where do we go from here? Well, that's a good question. We're either going to shift to the fruit of the Spirit, Galatians 5, great stuff. The book of Job, I can't wait for that series. Or I'm in the process of writing a book on the underappreciated women in the Old Testament, some of the ones that lesser known, great stories. The word of their stories need to get out there. Maybe that, not sure yet, but as always, it's going to be about proclaiming the love of God for the unlovable. Okay? Another favor, subscribe to this YouTube channel. So important. That encourages people to listen to the show. We're shooting for 1,000 people who subscribe. So please help me out with that. Just press subscribe and you'll be notified when there's new additions, new videos put in there, right? And continue to send me your comments. Bill at gospel-app.com. Take heart, child of God.